Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Such a beautiful voice right there, Robin. Robin, do you think if I use Grecian formula, maybe she won't know that I'm old? Maybe, because I fall in love easy with a voice like that. Listen to her voice. Oh my
fabulous.
God. Wow, did she write that too?
Yes, she's a singer-songwriter. She's amazing.
Sarah Simmons, and I think that's a new song from her album Freedom. We'll find out in a second. You might know her if you're a fan of The Voice. Kevin, did you ever watch The Voice?
I do, and I have.
Do you remember Sarah?
I don't. That's horrible to say.
She's on the phone right now. She's a singer, a songwriter, an advocate for addiction awareness. She's got a song later we're going to play that she wrote because her dad was addicted to cocaine. I hope I'm saying the right thing. God, imagine if I'm not. Ooh, that wouldn't be a good thing to say to somebody.
Well, she'll let us know.
Sarah Simmons, it's an honor to have you on our show. Good morning, Sarah.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. I'm only 26, by the way, just so you know. I just need a little...
Yes, everything you said is right. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So, just so you know.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from Memphis, Tennessee, in this little town called Cordova.
You have such an amazing voice. Did you always know this about yourself?
Oh, thank you. I always knew when I was like 5, 6 years old, my grandmom had me watching like old movies like An Affair to Remember and like all these silly like love movies, and I started singing and Ella Fitzgerald and all that kind of stuff, and I basically did this diving board game where she would have me sing on the diving board, and she would be like, "Oh, that was good. Okay, you can swim now." You
would sing on the diving board, and then you could jump in the water. What if
I could jump in the water?
What if she didn't like the song? Like, what if you did Bob Marley or something?
I would have to sing something else.
On National Gnarly Day.
But I always knew that I just loved doing it, and it was just such a therapeutic thing for me. I sadly kind of just went through some traumatic stuff growing up, and music was really kind of my outlet.
So you have taken an opportunity that The Voice gave you and built a career from that, which I think is absolutely the smart thing to do. I mean,
thank you.
You have your sights. So how did The Voice happen? And tell us a little bit about what that was like.
So basically, I went to college in Memphis, Tennessee called Visible Music College, and the president of it was this guy. His name is Ken Stort, and he was the founder of this band called Skillet. So basically, we had about 180 people you'd have to try out to get in.
Wow!
And it's actually where I met my husband, and he's awesome. He's my guitar player. But
is that his guitar playing on the beginning of that song? Was that him?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he's as good at that as you are at what you do.
Thank you. But yeah, basically. After that song that you just heard was written actually about a friend that had passed away during college. That was a really good friend of mine, Sean. And
yeah, I saw in the video where you dedicated it to Sean. Yeah.
Yes, and basically, my friend Sean actually told me about The Voice when we were going to school and stuff, and he was like, "You really should try out for this show." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that kind of thing. Like, I'm just going to do it on my own, And basically, he passed away, And then a month later, our school was in the Billboard magazine, and they contacted the president of Visible Music College and said, hey, do you have just one person that can do a private audition? And he said, Sarah, will you please do this for us? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can't say no to that.
Meant to be. Yeah, it was just meant to be. And I was on it for about 8.5 months, and I made it to top 7. And it's funny because I never thought I'd do a show like that. I always thought I would just work really hard and pray really hard and hope, something would happen of it. But it definitely blessed me. And
well, that's how God answered your prayer, maybe. Maybe that is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love stories like that.
Thank you.
So you have a new album called Freedom, correct?
I do. I actually released it about 1.5 years ago, and we were on tour with it's called Freedom, and we actually recorded it with producer Marshall Altman in Nashville at House of Blues. And basically, a film producer, actually. Our main thing that we're doing now is writing for film and TV. But basically, this guy, Marty Bowen, he's a film producer, did Twilight and Nicholas Sparks and stuff. And
oh, wow.
He and his team invested in my album, sent me to Nashville, and I recorded it there with Marshall. And then I actually ended up buying it back from him because I was like, you know what, I really want to own my own music. So I bought my masters back.
Good for you.
And thank you. And now we're actually releasing a single every month. So like we're releasing a single August called Safe and Wild, and we actually built a studio on our property, and it's just now finished. And so we're just constantly recording and writing, and
so in the video of that song, it does not look like Memphis. It looks more like Arizona. Did you go out to Arizona? Is that where you went?
Yeah. It was actually Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay. Do you know what I heard? Yeah. I heard the song before I saw the video. And you know what I imagined? I imagined this is the nighttime song. This is for me when I'm driving. I roll the window down, I put my elbow out, and I just crank up the music, right?
Yeah.
And then when I saw the video's somebody driving the car. I said, hey, this is, except for the fact that it's daytime, but it's in the desert, which is,
Maybe you should be a video producer in addition to everything else.
Yeah, right.
So, Sarah, I have a question for you. I'm a fellow musician myself. Tell me about this 6-octave range that you have. That's just unheard of. Most people can sing an octave and a half, maybe a couple of octaves on a great day, but 6 octaves. I mean, I'm a pianist, so I'm looking at the keyboard in my mind. So, from where to where do you sing?
Basically, I'm low C, and I go to a high C for my 6.5, or actually an E, so 6.5, an F. So low C to a high F.
That's like Mariah Carey range.
Yeah.
She's actually 7, which is crazy. But there wasn't always that big of an octave range. So I was basically, when I was younger, I was a 4.6 octave range. And then you can actually expand it. Everybody always thinks that, you have that octave range, that's all you get forever. But that's a lie. So basically, you can actually push yourself every day by just singing, learning how to do a diaphragm strength training thing. And then in college, I got to a 5.2 octave range. And then I was like, I'm determined to get 6.5. I'm just determined, And basically, I just got in shape and worked on my diaphragm really hard and kept going up a note every single day. I was like, I'm going to hit that note every day, and then I finally got there.
Certainly you had a great vocal coach to do that, because if you're not doing that the right way, you can do a whole lot of damage real fast.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. And I was actually, when our album Freedom came out, we went on tour for about 9 months, and we're on tour with this band called the White Buffalo for a little bit, and he actually had warned me. He was like, Sarah, you have to make sure you're careful when you're singing on stage and all these people, because you'll lose your voice if you're singing every night, and so that's kind of when I started like going extra care on everything, because it was kind of scary.
Where is your break point between your chest voice and your head voice?
Probably, that's a good question. It depends on the day.
Yeah.
So, okay. Can I ask you to talk about? I want to play a little bit of "Safe and Wild." Tell me what that song is about.
So actually, that is about my husband and I.
Really?
We wrote that.
Who's safe?
Yeah, who's safe and who's wild?
He's safe and I'm wild. He's safe. I'm wild. I'm the crazy one. He's the chill one. He's super chill.
Sarah, let me play a little bit of it. You'll be able to hear it, I hope. Here we go.
Okay.
No one knows we're here right now in your hiding place. I could wash that look right off your face like two kids just playing in the rain. You keep me safe, I keep you wild. You bring right out me, my inner child. And in the end, when we reach our smile, you keep me safe, I'll keep you wild.
Yeah, man, you keep me. Oh man, I love that words right there. That is a fun one. Oh, that's a nighttime song, also, I guess.
Oh, good. I love that. It's so funny. I always want to make music that is like road trip music, because if you can do that, I feel like you've succeeded. So thank you.
You and Kevin were talking about like technical stuff. How do you what do you do internally for the emotion? I mean, how and you can play a musical instrument and it just is the notes, and you can play a musical instrument and it's got emotion.
Yeah.
How do you do it with your voice?
So basically, again, just I feel like sometimes when you listen to someone sing, you can kind of hear a lot of their past with their stuff, and a lot of it's just, again, just being through. And I know everybody has a hard, life is tough, but it's beautiful at the same time. Bittersweetly beautiful, I always say. But just had so much trauma growing up, and that it just kind of just was instilled with me. So I can't sing unless I'm meaning something,
If you're doing it in concert, do you have to conjure up that same thing that you had in the studio?
Well, kind of, but not really. I really feel like it comes naturally, especially when it's my own music. But if I was when I was 17, 18, when I actually got to go sing in casinos and stuff, I'd have fun with it, but then some songs that, everybody needs to hear, of course, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I have to sing this one again, but it'd still be so much fun.
But you don't stick to one genre. When you write all different genres.
Yes, so that's the thing. That's why I love film and television so much, music for film and TV, is because I've always felt, not that I'm like Elvis in any single way, but for example, Elvis sang so many different genres: gospel, country, rock and roll,
right.
You name it. And I've just never been able to pick one genre, and that's kind of always been not my problem with labels, but kind of, it's they're like, well, what genre are you? And I'm this album is rock and roll.
Oh, really?
This EP that I did is, a little more country, or this, and I just like to keep it so organic to be able to just write and do what I'm feeling at the time. Even though I probably should be focused on one genre, but it's just, there's so much amazing music out there in different styles. And so I've just always loved all of it.
Well, you've got, obviously your appearance on The Voice, and then there's other television shows out there that I think right now are very successfully showcasing music, original music in different genres. And the show that comes to mind is Nashville for me. Even though that's a country-based town, there's a lot of different genres of music that come from Nashville. So my question for you is, what kind of an impact does a show like that have on an artist like you who's really trying to make their difference in film and television? And here's a show that showcases, I would think, exactly what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, basically, that's a great point. I love that. I actually love that show as well. I think it's really encouraging to me, because a lot of people look down in the industry of people that do so many different genres, not in a bad way, but just, when it comes to record label stuff, but with film and television, they love it, and so that really was kind of like how I found my niche. I was like, okay, I finally can do, still can do the label stuff and everything like that, but I actually can express myself in every single way without having to bombard myself down. But definitely seeing a show like that, which is an amazing show, is encouraging. Absolutely.
Did they allow you to do original songs on The Voice?
They don't. And if you were to do an original song, they would end up basically owning it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
Because it's their broadcast.
Oh, wow.
yes.
So who turned around first?
So Adam turned around first, and then Shakira, and then Usher and Blake turned around at the same time.
Oh, you got all four. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
Who wouldn't
It was
turn around?
fun.
Who would not? Guys, I've never seen. I haven't seen that many, but I've never seen somebody not turn around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they don't turn around.
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, did any of them become your friends?
They did. So basically, actually, Blake always was like Simmons, and would always. This is when he was with Miranda Lambert, and they basically, always were like, we need to spend time together. And I can't believe I'm saying this on the radio, but their party, the end party thing at the end of the show, they were like, Simmons, we want to take a shot with you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, it's tequila today. And I was like, you mean you don't want to do your normal whiskey thing? It was so funny.
Oh, wow.
But I really love them. And but with Adam, it's like I did keep in touch with him, and he really just treated me. We had a really cool relationship because he kind of basically treated me like a little sister. And the first time we met, and we actually lived in LA after The Voice. I ended up moving there for the film TV stuff. But basically, the first time we met, he was sitting down. We were sitting in his trailer, and he said, Sarah, are you not excited right now? And I was like, what? And he's like, are you not excited? And I was like, what do you mean? I am so excited, And he said, are you not excited to, like, basically meet me?
Oh, goodness.
I started laughing.
It sounded like he needed an ego boost at that moment.
Yeah, I know. And so I just started, like, laughing, and I was like, I'm excited. I'm not, like, freaking out, but I'm excited, and he was like, so if you were to meet anybody in the world, who would you be most excited to meet? And I was like, Eddie Vedder, because I love Pearl Jam, and Lisa Gerrard, this film and TV person. And he, like, freaked out. He was like, Eddie Vedder's my hero. And I was like, no way. And he told me this really long story that it was basically an embarrassment meeting Eddie Vedder. It had to do with the porta potty, but basically,
What?
Yeah, it's a long story.
You forgot to lock the door.
Yeah, but no, it's even worse than that. But
Oh, no.
but it was so funny. But ever since then, I think he just really respected me and really opened up as a friend, and just 8.5 months. It was such a long time to be in a hotel room, so we get to spend time with him, and he didn't do that with everybody. It's kind of like, if you make the connection, you do. If you don't, then you don't.
Right.
But yeah, he'd give me nuggies, and like,
Nuggies.
it was straight up annoying. But
Give
like,
you nuggies.
he gave me nuggies.
That's
He
creates a
gave me-
visual.
and called me little sister, but
In the arm, I
he's
presume.
such a good guy. Yeah, he's such a good guy.
What's really wonderful about you is that you have such a bright light shining that you also associate with others who have their own bright lights, and you allow that
thank
to
you.
shine. You've got a new Christmas song.
We're actually right this moment. My house is decorated in Christmas because we're recording our Christmas EP right now. We're recording our Christmas album right now. That's going to be coming
So you
out
had to
in
get in the
November.
mood? Is that why?
I had to get in the mood, and I'm on this really healthy thing, so it's not like I could cook like dressing and turkey, and chicken and stuff. So I've come up with all these little like snacks, like basically with vegetables and cheese boards to make Christmas trees, and to get our friends, our co-producers in it, and in the mood, and it's just been so funny.
So are you doing
It's great.
original Christmas music?
We are. So today we're finishing up. This is so much fun. But thank y'all for having me, by the way. But we're actually finishing our original today. And yesterday It's going to be our first single. We're going to do the original, but we're also going to release the Auld Lang Syne New Year's song. But we're doing it in a whole different way, and it's just, I can't wait for you guys to hear it. This will be my first Christmas record.
A lot of times we hear about singers, and they've gone through this like period of hell where they had to play these little tiny ugly bars and stuff. It seems like you were able to pass over all that, or did you? Did you have your share of those crappy places?
I definitely had my share of
you did?
Crappy bars. And before I was on The Voice, I mean, I was pursuing my career really hard, so it was a blessing to get that distribution, but I was still playing those like crappy bars and while going to college for vocal and songwriting. So it was just constant, poo-poo bars.
Oh, yeah, the poo-poo bars, yeah. I love the poo-poo bars.
Kevin, you and Larry know about those.
Yeah.
You guys play those.
Yeah. Sarah.
But yeah, when we were on tour, I mean, it was so crazy because for the 9-month tour, because, first we were with the White Buffalo. They sang for, like, Sons of Anarchy, Longmire, all these shows. And so they had a really big following, especially Northwest. So, we'd go out there and, they'd bring in, like, 10,000 people. So it was so much fun. But then we'd go to, like, some of our shows, and it was so encouraging because it was, like, the fans that would drive to see us, like, just meant everything. So sometimes we would play at House of Blues, Las Vegas, and got to, play before the Super 8 group. It's like, sadly, Chester Bennington, he's passed away, but he was in that, Billy Gibbons, all these people. So we got to meet a lot of people on the way, and we'd have big shows like that. But then we'd go to this little bar in, like, Santa Cruz, and, like, everybody's not really about the music there. They're more like, let's go surfing. And, like, I had this...
Yeah, they like to do things that are gnarly. Today is National Gnarly Day, yeah.
Yeah, National Gnarly Day.
Sarah, tell me...
So, like... But yeah, it was like I literally had it was such a small venue, and I literally had like 10 people there. And then I had just played a show, with them, and it was like thousands and thousands of people. So it was a humbling experience.
So
it was just like you never knew what show was going to be amazing. But I found the smaller shows when you could be intimate. Like there was this young girl. I have a lot of like young girl fans, like 13.
You have one old man fan too, by the way.
I love it.
Sarah, which of those shows do you find more challenging to do? The show in front of 10,000 people or the show in front of 22 people?
The show in front of 22 people.
Yes. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Because, they're watching your every move.
Well, and don't you feel more exposed to? I mean, everything about you.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah,
yes.
very vulnerable.
See, but I would be worried if I had 22 people and 22 got up. That would be bad. But if I had 10,000 and 22 got up, I'd be okay. I'd still be okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, I have a little bit of time left, and I want to make sure we play a little bit of Cocaine. This is a song you wrote about your dad?
Yes. Well, basically, it was written about addiction. And it's not just about dad. It's about all kinds of addiction. Like, for a while when I was on The Voice, like, I had an addiction to food and, like, random stuff because I was so stressed out and I just lost one of my best friends and all this stuff. It's like we all have addictions to many things. Addiction to worrying, addiction to, and so it's just basically a broad name. Yes, my dad had an issue growing up, but thankfully he's been clean for like 12 years, so hallelujah.
Oh, that's the good news. Yeah, that's the good news.
Yeah, and he's one of my best friends. He's so amazing. But yeah, it's just, it's really a big problem, and, sadly about Demi Lovato, it's like, yes, that exposed about what she had gone through, but, there's so many kids and people passing away from drugs and alcohol every single day, and I just wanted to bring awareness somehow, even if it doesn't completely. It's like at least I'm putting it out there, And
it's your part.
Yeah,
Sarah,
absolutely.
We're out of time. Thank you so much for being on the air with us. Good luck with everything.
Sorry.
If you're ever in Florida, you got to come into the studio, okay?
Well, guess what? We are actually going to be playing a festival called the Forgotten Music Festival, November 2nd, about an hour south of Destin. And we were like, I think y'all are only like 6 hours from there.
Something like that,
my friend,
yeah.
one of my friends has been on y'all's show, and she loves you guys, and she's the reason I'm on it today. So thank you, Hannah.
That's Hannah Madison Taylor.
Hannah Madison Taylor, yes, I love her. But she and I might be doing a duo thing for fun on the side, and we were like, you know what, we should just go down and see them.
That's what you
so
should do.
we might be coming to see you guys.
You should do that.
Yes.
Kevin, you come back for that one?
Absolutely.
All right, Kevin will be back for that one.
Oh, thank you guys so
Sarah,
much.
Sarah, you are as sweet as can be. Please be safe out there. Don't let that business get to you. I love everything
Yes,
I read in
sir.
your bio. We didn't even cover any of it, most of it anyway.
No worries.
Thank you for being on the air with
worries.
us. That was so much fun. How do we get your music? Do we go to your website?
So you go to my website, sarahsimmonsmusic.com, and of course all of our album to our new singles are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and it's on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. It's on all of those.
All out there.
sites.
Okay.
Right.
Great.
So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. That was awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Be careful and come into the studio with us, all right? Bring your guitar.
Yes, sir.
Bring your guitar.
I will. I'll bring my guitar player.
You bring
I
your
can
husband,
play, but
yeah.
I'll bring Greg.
I'll get the Grecian formula out so you don't think I'm old, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, we'll be right back.
Thank you guys.
I can't help you, 'cause darling, you know I need help too. This deadly addiction sure won't let me win.
Have you ever looked at a homeless person and wondered what it's like to walk in their shoes? I'm Carla with Interfaith, and we're hosting a 1-mile walk to benefit our homeless shelter and raise awareness.